people can listen to our
This
questions.
meeting is being recorded.
So if you have a question, this is the opportunity. If there's something you want me to address that I didn't address yesterday, or it's not in the table of content that was shared in the group, please, this is also the opportunity to do that. Please, floor is open. In 5 minutes, I should be over with this section. Stephanie, Choma, Judith, Oluchi, Ogechi, Chinyere, Noni, Izuchuko have spoken. Those who are not here will definitely miss this section, and I'm not going to entertain questions really in a group. So, questions, please. If there are no questions, should I continue?
Anyway, you can continue. But it would have been good if you have given us a recap for yesterday. Because
I
some
will.
of us who are very new to this, I don't even understand most of the things that being taught here. I'm just waiting for to take it easy on myself and know whether I can get anything. I don't. This is
Okay.
my first time of coming into all this IT stuff. I don't know much. All these things being taught.
Yeah.
So that is
I
just my
understand.
problem.
Please, sir, continue. Let us. Me, I personally, I need to digest all these things before I can ask questions.
Okay. Thank you, Ogechi. Oh, was that
It's none.
Noni?
It's none.
So
It's
one
Noni.
not
more
Okay.
yes.
thing,
Okay.
please
Okay.
let me say something. I'm suggesting you just, if like yesterday you were teaching and digressing and all. Based on the
Mm.
course outline you gave, you've not really taught much. So I don't know how you plan to cover all the course outline you gave us on that group. So I just
I
suggest
will. I
you
will.
just go ahead, just say, just pick the important ones and just say it so that we can get a bit of everything you need to tell us. Then later
I
we can
will.
go
I
make
will.
our research
I
on
will.
what. Thank
I
you.
will. I will. All right. So let's continue, right? But I'm going to give a brief recap of yesterday's section. This was the clarity section. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
All right. So, can you still see the screen now?
Yes, you can see.
All right. So this was the clarity. This was the dashboard I built for a sales dashboard I built for one of my tasks or projects, and it took us a few days a few days or weeks to come to this amazing dashboard. This was done in Power BI, and I have already explained how you can clean, model, visualize your data on Power BI. Power Query is an advanced level. Like I told you yesterday, for Excel, if you have 100,
But, but sorry, what you can see is just tech clarity section and data analytics only. I don't know whether that is what you are.
oh, I've scrolled down.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I think
it's only
I,
yeah.
let me scroll. Can you see this one now?
Yes.
Okay. I will not put it on view mode. Okay. So this was my dashboard, and I use this dashboard to visualize a particular project. This was done in Power BI, and just like I told you guys yesterday, for Microsoft Excel, we can have 1,000. Did I say million rows of data? And you may not be able to exceed 1,000,000 rows. If not, your Microsoft Excel stuff would either crash or refuse to load. So, but you can take it to other platforms like Power BI, Power Query Editor in Power BI, or Tableau, or SQL, or PostgreSQL, or Python, or R, or even go to your Anaconda and search and begin to do a lot of the cleaning. So there is, I'm going to talk about that cleaning much later, but let me just do this overview. Then we moved over to talk about understanding data analysis. Overview, we looked at differences and why companies need data analysts. So someone had asked me yesterday the differences between a data analyst and data analysis, and I explained that data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleaning, and modeling, presenting data to support certain decisions for business owners, for companies, individuals, and so on and so forth. So a data analyst is someone who knows how to, participate or carry out these processes. So, and we also looked at the fact that our world is becoming more and more data driven. So we have storytelling through data analysis, which I really recommended to you guys, that for you to be a very good data analyst, you have to be good in storytelling. Okay. And then we moved over to talk about the skills for entry level data analysts. And I mentioned those skills from data handling, basic statistics, basic data visualization, MS Excel, SQL, and so on and so forth, and problem solving. Then we moved over to talk about best industries for data analysts, which I explained. They are divided into three. You either belong to any of these industries. Either you are a top tier industry, mid tier industries, or low tier industries. And then I opened a LinkedIn page and showed you guys the type of data analyst jobs you can find in Nigeria. You can also check your country of or residence also on LinkedIn or any other job platforms for those or for those kinds of jobs. And then we moved over to look at um, data analysis process. And I talked about the very first being that you have to understand how to ask a question as a data analyst. Asking questions sometimes is even more important than getting the solution, because if you understand the questions, for instance, you as a data analyst, you can't ask why are we losing customers. Rather, you ask what factors are negatively impacting the customer experience, or how can we make customer experience better. That's why you can see any company that have a very good data analyst, they would always make sure that they improve on customer experience and customer retention. And I say that is far expensive to acquire new customers than to retain the ones you have. That's why DSTV can afford to advertise DSTV on DSTV for DSTV users. Sounds funny, right? But we said yes, that's because it's far cheaper to do that, to retain the customers you have presently. And if for any reason I had also opened my Power BI dashboard and I showed you guys an explanation of New York taxi. Can you guys still remember?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yeah. And I looked at New York Taxi from 2017. 2017, they made about 11 million dollars in. They made about 11 million trips. Sorry,
Trips, yes.
and yeah, 11 million trips. In 2018, they made about 8 million
8
trips.
million.
In 2019, they made about 5 million
5
trips,
million.
and in 2020 they made about a million trips. So as a data analyst, if you are given such data, you won't come and say, okay, in 2021 there's going to be a serious miracle, that all of a sudden you are going to make 200 million trips. And what happens in 2021? The owner of the taxi company in New York calls you and discovers that instead of that 200 million trips you promised them, and which of course incorporates or translates into higher revenue or cash, they are having even 100,000 trips. They can get you fired. So that's why it's important to find out. And one of the things I showed you guys yesterday for that analysis was to show you how we were able to do some level of forecasting, to say, okay, this is actually what is going to happen, and then we make the presentation. So defining the question as a data analyst is very important. We had moved over to that, to collecting the data, and I talked about all the different types of data. We have quantitative data, which talks about figures, monthly reports, statistical tools, and so on. And then we looked at qualitative data, which is customer reviews. That's why I told you guys a platform like Twitter will not joke with customer complaints or issues, because the more people complain and tag a particular company on a post, the more data, the more negative data the company is generating for a place like Twitter and even itself. So you would have bad descriptive data online. So you need to look at those two levels of collecting data. And I did went further, not just to talk. I opened one of my projects, and I showed you guys how to collect data using second party data like website, apps, social media activity. Every social media activity data is being collected. You can check your Facebook page, they will tell you how many persons visited that page in a day, how many views you have had. If you go to LinkedIn, they will tell you how many persons your post was able to reach, how many persons reacted to it. Those are all second party data collection stuff. And first party data with customers, direct observation, focus groups, interviews, and so on. You also have third party data, which contains unstructured or big data and include government portals like open data repositories like NCDC, for instance, is a third party data collection function. I also talked about a research firm like Gartner, which collects data and sells to other companies. For instance, the machine learning the machine learn the training of the machine learning algorithm I showed you guys yesterday. Each time you open your captcha and they are asking you to choose well how many of these things are bicycles or how many of them are what else do they always say? Oh, traffic lights, what else? Zebra crossing. Each time you choose the right ones, you're actually training that machine model, and such companies that send those data to you to train will now get the data, the trained data, and then sell it to other companies like Tesla and so on. That's why Tesla can have a self-driving car, and they'll be able the car would have enough data to let it know that okay, this particular figure is a human being, this one is an animal, this one is a tree, this one is a bicycle, and so on and so forth. So I talked about a numerous data collection on management platforms like Salesforce. I give you an example of how nonprofits and organizations like UNICEF, like SOS Children, even my former organization, we use Salesforce to track donations and so on. So that is the second thing you must be able to do as a data analyst. You have to know how to collect data. And then this is where we are going to start today, cleaning the data. And I said yesterday that 90% or 70% time is what you use in cleaning your data. Is what you use in cleaning your data. And what does it mean to clean your data? You need to know how to remove major errors, duplicates, and outliers. Now it's time for me to show you guys an example. Are we ready? I want to use Microsoft. I want to use Microsoft Excel to show you guys that example of what it means to clean your data. Um, comment. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to. So let me type something like was names, um, price. Sorry, let me go. Let me check fruits, price, fruits and price. Yeah, that's good. So we have something like apple, uh, orange. Please, someone just be giving me names of fruits. So mango,
Papa.
pawpaw,
Banana.
pawpaw,
Banana.
banana. Yeah, women they always like banana and cucumber. So what else? Which one are they like again? Ah,
Apple now.
apple is there now. No, but na
Watermelon.
pineapple. Now give Adam
Watermelon.
pineapple, apple, watermelon.
Grapes. Grapes.
All right.
Berry.
lime,
Grapes. Okay, okay. Let's stop here. Let's stop here. I've gotten enough grapes. So we have price. Now, see what is happening. We have apple 200. We have orange 200. We have pineapple 250. Let's say 230. 230. We have pawpaw 15 naira. We have banana 400 naira. We have cucumber, let's say 200 again. Oh, pineapple, we have 200. Watermelon, we have 150. And grapes, we have 110. So now, as a data analyst, you are given this set of data. Let me color it. You are given this set of data. No. All right, you are given this set of data, and they are telling you to give us the total of the fruits that have been sold over a period of time. You have fruits, and then yes. Please, can someone tell me why these numbers are not why they are not exact? Can someone tell me, please, why are they not on the same line?
That's the question we want to ask, sir.
Exactly. Exactly.
Some are going south.
What did what did you notice?
They are scattered.
They're not in the same line.
So imagine that you have this type of data, and you have 20,000, or let's say you have 200 million rows of fruits, and then you have all of this. You will discover that the price in here, for instance, if I want to calculate the total price here, if I want to calculate the total price, I'm just going to say equals to sum, bracket open, and then I want to calculate all of this, bracket close. If I hit enter, just see what it's going to tell me. It's telling me 565. That is the total.
765.
765. That is the total. Now let me tell you how wrong this is. Number one is 200. This one is 15. This one is 200. I'm now typing the ones that are one place. So the ones we get order 150. If I say equals to sum, bracket open, then I do all of this, bracket close. You now see that it is giving me 765. Are we following?
yes.
Yes.
Good. So now what happens to this one? What happens to this one? What happens to this one? You now see that if you now give a total of 765 to your Oga, and your Oga comes and says, what's the problem? We can't have 765 naira when I know that we have made a lot of sales. So you now see that this person ended up doing the calculation without waiting to do enough data cleaning. Without waiting to do enough data cleaning. So as a wise person, you are going to now spend time to do a lot of this data cleaning. So I am not going to show you how you guys how to do all of that because it's not what we are going to talk about today. But you need to know that this thing, anything you see by this side represents. Let me show you something. Text.
But what made it to scatter now when you were typing it in?
I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why. This is text,
Yes, it's not
and then this is number.
numbers.
Have you seen the difference? Text, anything that is on text, Microsoft Excel is going to put it to the left-hand side. Did you notice that?
Yes.
And anything that is number, Microsoft is going to put it on the right-hand side. So anytime you see a range of numbers
Okay.
like this, okay, yeah, as that person is saying okay. Anytime you see a range of numbers that are towards the left hand side, you need to know that that number needs cleaning. And see, this thing is 200, but I did a mistake and I typed 20.
20 not.
Yeah.
uh, you now see this one is supposed to be 230 naira, but I now did
Mm,
a mistake. Big, I now put 2 3
mi-
and then I put dash
minus dash.
and then I put 0. The same thing here. This one is supposed to be 110 and I now put 1 and I now put I and I now put 0.
Okay.
Okay, so in other words, any number you are typing and you insert an alphabet, it will automatically go to the left hand side.
Exactly.
Exactly. And when you
Okay.
notice that, the job of a data analyst is to clean such data. Now
Okay.
imagine that you are given this type of data. Let me check. Okay. Do I still have? Okay. Imagine that you are given this type of data. You see how data plenty. Imagine that you are given this type of data, and they are telling you to calculate. If I come here and I click and I instead of this, are you guys still seeing my screen?
Yes, you can
Yes.
say.
Okay. Now let me click. Let me change something here because these things happen for those who are data entry people. Are you uh are you still seeing the screen for data entry people? You now come
Yeah.
here and let me remove that 4 and then I'll put H. Just watch and see what will happen. And then I click outside. Do you see that the euro that was in front have disappeared?
Okay.
And then that number now is no longer that value, sorry, is no longer a number. It's no longer number. It is now what? Text. It is now text. Okay, I had already solved all of these things. I had solved all of these things. Uh, so that is just it. I'm not here to teach you guys Excel and stuff. But you now see because of that error, can you see this? Can you see this thing? Can you see this place?
Yes.
Because of that error that have appeared in the revenue section, this particular line now have error, meaning not available. Because I used a formula to get my values for this whole column. I use a formula to get my values. If I click on one of them and you go to this place, you are going to see the name of that formula. It's called the lookup formula, meaning that for anybody that is above uh, anybody that is
Below.
uh, above 70 or above 60 is a convinced seeker, and anybody that is an adult is a brand seeker, and anybody that is above 30 is a brand seeker. I was able to use a formula to achieve all of that. So this is what can happen when you have to clean your data. So that is just it. I'm going to show you guys something on this is my anaconda. This is my Python. One of the projects I worked on in Python. Let me see. Which one will I open? Let me check this. It's loading. I just want to show you guys how cleaning and analyzing takes place. Okay, okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Mhm. Now, I know you guys will not understand this thing, but um, I wanted to check how many of my I want to train an algorithm. I want to train an algorithm. So what I did was I imported all my libraries from I import pandas as PD, import numpy as speed np, import datetime as dt. So anywhere you see dt, you just know is date time. For instance, you have here train dt dot isna. Okay, you are talking about train date time, and I don't want to open my Power Query because it's going to dull this system. If you notice something like, um, can you guys see this? Can you guys see my screen where you have lead creation date?
Yes.
Can you see date of birth?
Yes.
Now, if I want to put a code that will now change this date of birth, I'm telling the code now, okay, I want to see only the year. I don't want to put any code here. I want to see only the year. For instance, if I let me say times 10, let me run this. You now see that it's putting error. It doesn't understand. So you now need to sit down as a data analyst and say, what mistake did I make here? That then you now have to go back to your code and discover that you did not put. And once you change that, it's going to affect. Let me see. Yes, it definitely should affect one of my codes down. You now see it affected one of my codes down here because I changed something. But if I go back and then where's that place? Where's that place? Uh, type my 100 and then run it again. I don't go spoil something. Okay, I won't run. It has to run. Checking date set. Date info. Train date. Let me view my. Do I still have? So see. What one run? Sorry, guys. I just want to. All right. Okay, it ran. It ran. Let me go back to that place. I want to be sure that my data set is not bad. Okay, it came back. So this is a lot of um, so that means that this particular code, I need to go back and remove. I need to start again from beginning, import and do all those stuff and so on and so on. So if you look at this particular code, the 000 means that everything is fine. There is no error there. If you see all these numbers, just know that there are about 0.21547 errors. If you see city code and you see 1 point anything 1.6, any number you see, just know that that particular value is very, very dirty and it needs cleaning. I'm going to show you, let's say, date of birth. um this was just to show me the head. That is, I want to know what my data looks like. Okay, loan amount, let me see. Is loan amount, is it clean, is it clean, is it clean? Okay, so guys, can you see this? Can you see my screen?
Yes, you can see it.
Hello, okay. So if you see loan amount, it contains the following errors: 39.74729 errors. If you go back to the initial project and then you now check loan amount, have you seen loan amount here?
Well, yes.
You see that these values are coming. You can now see NaN. What's the meaning of NaN? It's supposed to show numerical values. I don't know if you guys are following.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's because if you go to the bank and they want to give you a loan, they are not going to give you loan NaN naira. They are going to give you either 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 and so on. You get? So, but by the time you begin to see NaN, you can see interest rate, the same thing is showing a lot of errors. So you need to clean it. You can decide to say where replace NaN with 0, meaning that that person did not collect any loan. So that when you want to calculate the total loan amount, it will not give you error because the coding will not understand NaN when you are calculating it. I don't know. I know this is sounding strange to a lot of you, but that's just an example of what data cleaning means. And let me just leave it like that so I don't confuse anyone further. Are
But
we
please,
good to?
what is the full meaning of that NaN?
Not available. It's either not available, null value. A lot of people have different definitions for it, but it means that the value is not existent, is not available. No
Okay.
value, not available. No value, not available. No value available, or no, just showing none. In Microsoft Excel, you can see hashtag error. You can see hashtag just hash hash hash. Sometimes you can see hashtag. So those it means that you can now you see it now. It means non null, non null, non null, and so on. So.
Thank you.
mm. So you can see loan amount, all these things, these are all errors and you need to clean them. Without that's why the data analyst will spend hours when you see some of us sitting behind our system trying to clean a lot of data, replace this one with this one, replace this one with this one, replace this one. Anywhere you see I, please put one because that one is supposed to be that I is supposed to be one instead of anywhere you see female put zero. Anywhere you see male, put zero, and so on. So these are all codings. You can see all of these numbers. I wanted to see the unique loan amount numbers, and this one appeared, and I said, okay, at least I have a period, data period, array, and so on. So and then I started cleaning. I started looking at the unique values. How many of those rows and columns actually have unique values? And I checked my date and time. I wanted to know how many people have really unique values. How many was the array like? And I checked city and so on. So that's just how it is done in this particular uh, software. It's called Jupyter Notebook. You can use your Python coding, R and stuff. This is how it looks like. So I ran it yesterday when you guys left. I did a few stuff and a lot of installation and how to go about it. It's something really amazing. So we can continue, right? So that's why I'm saying that 90% of your time can be spent on cleaning, and you can remove duplicates. Sometimes people mistake, like you, instead of putting apple once, you put apple two times. Instead of putting apple once, you can put apple two times. You just want to see one apple across the region, so you can remove all those duplicates. That one is perfectly done. I love doing that mostly in Power BI. You can remove duplicates, you can delete your column, you can replace things, you can remove unwanted data points, then you can bring your structure to your data and help to fill certain gaps. And then I have showed you some of the free tools you can use, like Python libraries. Pandas are better suited for high data volumes. I just showed you an example of that type of library. So I'm not just talking, I'm actually showing you how it is done. So this is an example of how that type of cleaning is done in Python using Jupyter Notebook. Okay. Then the fourth thing is analyzing. Are we together?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I need. All right, all right. So, and the fourth thing is analyzing. So, analysis is very, very important. Very, very important. I'm preparing for a Microsoft exams, and the money they are calling is a very serious money. Maybe some of una way una papa be or $10, or una fit sponsor me make I go write that exam. But a
How
great
much
percent
will
of
it
that.
be?
Huh?
How much
Who
is
is
it?
this? Who is this person? Who is this person that is talking? Who is this person? So that you will not just ask me question free of charge. Choma, is that you? Choma, are you? Abi Chidima? See, they don't close
The
my
person not disappear.
Nigeria.
I did. I don't come
Ni-
home.
So Chidima is you,
I
Abi?
know disappear. I
That
was
me?
actually.
Oh yeah, oh
I know
yeah.
talking. I
On
know
on
disappear.
your on your video, let me see your face.
I dey swallow here. Oh. I
Ejego.
just dey swallow. I don't want to
Okay,
show you my
so
mouth.
if you want to sponsor me, just send me a message privately, and then I would be very happy to get that sponsor. It's not any serious money though, but I mean, I would be happy to get that sponsorship so that I can do other things like helping people. You know. So analysis is very important. Some of the techniques in data analysis are univariate or bivariate analysis, time series analysis, regression analysis. I told you guys to come with pen and paper. This material, I'm not going to share this material because it's my intellectual property. I'm not going to share this material with any of you except you want to pay for it, but I'm not even going to announce it. So if you want it after the class, so you can go through it and read it on your own, and then do your personal research and get to learn about these things, because in the past I was fond of sharing my intellectual property with people and then they get to use it and misuse it actually. Misuse is a word. I don't want to do that now. But please, if you have your pen and paper, write down these techniques in data analysis and then do your personal research. My job is to introduce you to these terms. Now, the process of data analysis, focusing on the task of cleaning, I've explained that, on modeling, I've explained that, and on visualizing data. I didn't mention, there's something missing. Data gathering, yeah, data gathering, data cleaning, data modeling, and data visualization. Those are the four steps I remember. So your analysis could either be descriptive, meaning that you want to help to answer questions about what has happened based on historical data. For instance, you want to know, like the shark attack project, the shark attack dashboard I showed you guys yesterday. I wanted to know what parts of the body do sharks attack the most. So one of the things that we got from the data source we got was anytime a shark attack anybody, the people who are responsible for whether it's a beach or an ocean or whatever, they are going to now go to report the incidents to someone who is going to write them down. So for all these police reports, it's very unfortunate. I don't know if police officers have a data analyst. Seriously. Because if they do have a data analyst, they will know that there's a particular area in this town. Every December, this area, there is high level robbery in this area. So they will not need to wait for January to come and then people will come and be reporting to them. By November, they would already be preparing to go to that area during December time because their data has informed them based on historical data that look, based on what people have been coming to report on this, how you'll be every bloody year, you'll be going to every month, every day, you'll be going to the police station to report a particular case, whether it is rape, whether it is armed robbery cases, whether it's this or that, and all they care is just write your report. And after that, they'll carry the report, they'll go and keep it. But if the police department have a data analyst, when you get that report, you submit that report to someone who is good at data entry. The person will now type all the necessary details of that report in Excel or Microsoft Word and then submit it to the data analyst. The data analyst will now do what is called text analysis, meaning that if the data analyst is looking for a list of murder cases in that particular region, he's now going to analyze that text. If he sees more than 500 words mentioning murder cases, he's now going to say, okay, in December, we had access to 500 occurrences of words like murder coming from a particular region. We want to advise that the police department will do something about investigating the cause of murder cases in this particular region. Are you guys following? Do you now see how
Yes.
important, yeah, how important data analysis can even help the country? Now you go to a university setup, and lecturers are so happy that students, a school is very happy that students are failing a particular course, and nobody is calling the lecturer to order. Nobody is calling the lecturer to ask questions. Why do you love to celebrate students failing your courses? Why don't you want students to pass your course? Because we have data in a period of 5, 10 years, nobody has had more than 50% in every exam. You get, that is what good administrators would do based on historical data. That is what is called descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis. So that is why we often hear of key performance index and return on investment. All the women wey dey this call with me, they go tell you say 1,000 naira is too much oh, but if I wan go there mention their names now, let me mention them. From Noni, Chinyere, Chioma, Oluchi, Nelly, Chidima, Amara, Grace, Ogechi. If these babes tell you how much dey the account, you will not believe it. But then they go make you feel like say money no dey. How do I know? All these investment platforms, return on ROI, come and drop 10,000 in
Like
the
you there.
next in the next 3 days. You come and get how much? 3 million naira. The ones wey don crash of recent, the ones wey don crash of recent.
It be like
Data
saying the Facebook gossip.
statistics show that 80% of those who are doing this investment something are women.
Mhm.
My people, is it true or false?
It is true. We accept.
It's
So
true.
Huh.
that's
Abeg, we
Make
no
good.
get
una
money.
You dey find
accept
money.
am. Make una accept am with una whole chest. Just own it.
We don't accept now.
Yeah. Be,
We
but
don't
you know, a good female data analyst will now say, look, what was the key performance index of this company in the last 5 years? Have this company been consistent in paying this so-called return on investments, or they just came 2 months ago and they are promising high return on investment? What is their data like? What is their monthly report like? So you will begin to ask serious level questions that only a good data analyst would ask. And some of us men, if we ask these questions, they will say, I better go, Oga, you too they greedy. One babe go come ask you money for food. The typical African man, they want to get money for to buy stuff in a market, and you are requesting for list. Because name list, bring the list, let us see. And you say, why are you looking for list? You are so greedy. A good data analyst will not allow you to just except the person what do you love? Ojoro love. But that's just by the way. You guys get the point. Historical data, descriptive analysis. Please remember that. And this is very, very good in generating reports to provide a view of an organizational sales of financial data. Okay, so I'm going to rush over the next set of types of data analysis. From descriptive, we have diagnostic. Diagnostic helps us to answer questions about why events happen. Why did a particular investment platform, why did it fall? Why did it crash? A good data analyst that is good in diagnostic analysis would help to answer that question. That person will come and tell you, Oga, this your business is going to crash 3 days from now. It's no be miracle or no be prophecy, no be anything. But this person is going to tell you from based on what has happened in the past that this is going to happen in few days, 2 days from now. He's going to explain why that event happened. He's going to identify anomalies in the data. Take for instance, it is only diagnostics that will now explain that this thing is not 765. You that is looking at this number, you say, no, it is 765. A good data analyst will give you a good diagnosis of these values and tell you, look, we cannot have 1, 2, 3, 4 empty spaces. And then we have a good number of values. If we had zero here, if we had zero here, and we had zero here, and we had zero here, and then we had zero here, then no wahala. It is indeed true that you have 765 naira. But if there was no value here, no value here, no value here, then the diagnostic analysis will come into play. It will now tell you the reason why. So from who is talking, please mute yourself. Thank you. So from diagnostics, we move over to predictive. From predictive, we move over to prescriptive. Predictive analysis helps answer questions about what will happen in the future. Remember that New York taxi project I showed you guys? We made 11 million trips in 2017. We made 8 million trips in 2018. We made 5 million trips in 2019. We made a million trips in 2020. Predictive analysis will tell you that you are not going to make more than 500 trips in 2021 because of the forecast. We have been able to look at the data we've gotten in the past, and tomorrow's data is going to be get worse than what it is right now. That's predictive. You are predicting the future. So prescriptive talks about answering questions about which action should be taken to achieve a goal or target. For instance, what actions are we going to take to make sure that a particular business that was falling in revenue, a particular bank that was having low customer experience or bad reviews online, what are we going to do? What recommendations are we going to give? Now, this is where machine learning strategies come in place. And machine learning is something I love also a lot. Because in machine learning, you are definitely going to tell your manager in the bank that look, so number of people did not come to the bank. We predict you are going to tell we predict using our machine learning algorithm that these customers are going to debunk, they are going to leave, they are going to churn from this they are going to churn from coming to this bank. In fact, they are going to close down the account because we noticed that they had 100,000, and up till for the past 3 months they don't have any single kobo in this account. But we have been able to track their BVN if at all they do track BVN, and we have noticed that this particular customer is making withdrawals in other accounts. So this is what we are going to prescribe. This is what we are going to suggest that we need to do so that we stop losing customers. As a data analyst, you should be able to talk about all of this. So from predictive, prescriptive, we now have the cognitive analysis, which talks about the attempt to draw inferences from existing data and patterns, derive conclusions based on those existing knowledge bases, and then add these findings back into the knowledge base for future inferences. It's like a self-learning feedback loop. So this is how it works. Cognitive comes to say, okay, 3 persons died in 2021. We predict that in 2021 4 persons are going to die, and because of that we want to find out what is the reason why 4 persons will die in 2021. Now we now sit down and begin to learn, and when we learn to know the patterns, we now say, okay, every three years 4 people die in this particular family. What is the cause of that death? So there's a feedback loop running around. Are we following? Are we together?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So that is the type of cognitive. Those people that are working in health. Remember, we talked about top tier industries. Those that are working in health, the health sector, they use a lot of cognitive analytics. That's why if you go to the hospital, they are going to ask you your family history. They are going to find out, did anybody die from diabetes in your family of recent? You tell them, and then they are going to get that knowledge. They are going to build a sort of conclusion. They say, okay, did you lose any of your siblings in the last 5 years from diabetes? You are going to say yes, and they are going to say, okay, they are now going to add their findings back to the knowledge they have about diabetes for future references or inferences about yourself. And then they are now going to tell you, look, this is what you are going to do if you don't want to die in the next 4 years. That's why they can predict. That's why people, you don't go to the church and say that the doctor hates you, the doctor does not like you, and the doctor does, because they told you that you have 3 years to live, that you are going to die of cancer. No. What they are doing is actually telling you based on cognitive analysis, is actually telling you what they have discovered from past, from their knowledge, from present conclusions and findings, and they are going to do a sort of self-learning feedback loop and tell you that look, this is what is going to happen. Okay. So then the last thing that you are going to do in data analysis after you have done all of that is to share your results. I'm not going to talk about this because I spent considerable time yesterday or last night to talk about it. And when I say sharing your results, I'm invariably talking about reports, dashboard, interactive visualizations to support your findings. And this is where a data analyst must be a very good communicator, because when you finish gathering your data, cleaning it, modeling it, and now visualizing it, you need to be able to come and explain yourself to stakeholders. And then that same Python I showed you, you guys can use it. Excel, you can use it to draw graphs, to do a lot of things. Like this one here that I showed you guys yesterday. This was one of my dashboards on the Nigerian COVID-19 reports and analysis, and I was able to do this and present it to a particular group to tell them, look, that our data report of COVID-19 is a mess, and this is what I think, and this is why I think it's a mess. Lagos State has the highest number of reports so far, maybe because they have a lot of international organizations, or a lot of people coming in to ask questions, so they keep increasing the number. But if you want to look at the fact that Lagos is more than 9 million persons in Lagos, you can't say out of 9 million persons, only 78 persons were tested with or have COVID. What sort of a miracle is that? So this was the report I gave. Okay, so that is it for the processes of data analysis. And the next thing we are going to now talk about is how to leverage on programming languages and relational databases. Now, when we talk about relational databases, as regards to non-relational databases, a relational database is simply a table that organizes structured data into defined columns. For instance, there's a diagram here showing you blog posts, blog tags, blog comments. You can see that all of them are related. If you remove this blog post and now put television, you now see that the only database that is going to relate with each other is only going to be blog tags and blog comments. There's no relationship at all with blog comments, blog tags, and television. But if you have television here, then you have radio, and then you have newspaper. The relationship between all of them there is that all of them are a media, traditional media. So anytime you are building your visualization, you have to put your relational database in. So you can choose to, as a data analyst, to concentrate on on being very good at leveraging on relational databases. This is just something part-time, as against non-relational databases, meaning that you just put comments, tasks, categories. If you go to websites and you see all of these things there, they are not related at all. It doesn't incorporate the table model. Instead, data can be stored in a single document file. So this is an example of how a relational database works. This is customer information. You have the customer ID. Anytime you are going to a mall to pay something, you have an ID. Is it possible for two people to have two matric number?
No way.
No.
But we have more than 150 million Nigerians. If 150 million Nigerians are writing JAM, do you think that any two Nigerians will have the same matric number?
No.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. We cannot have the same matric number. We can't have the same bank account number. We can't have the same BVN number. We can't even have the same fingerprint. That is to show you that in every data, please someone should mute. In every data, there is a chart of relationship that is unique. So in this relationship, we have the primary key, we have the secondary key. We have the customer ID. You can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when you reach 10, you can now have 0010, 0012, 0013. And when you reach 20, you can now have 0020, 0021. That's the job of a data analyst. You now have to create that relationship to say, look, there is a relationship between customer ID and last name. You now create that relationship so that anytime you have Smith, you just know that Smith belongs to the customer ID C001. You cannot go and put customer ID as date of birth. That is not a relationship that will work for this particular table. So you need to understand this if you have to be also good in data entry. So we move on. As a beginner in data analysis, I suggest you get started with Microsoft Excel. Pay attention to the following: sort and filter, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP. Let me even include it. HLOOKUP. Pay attention to pivot tables. I showed you an example of pivot table yesterday. And for those of you that missed yesterday's section, let me show you a visual again. If I, what is it? This is, if I, okay, this is not, I need to know, need to see if I have a pivot table here. Well, let me go back to my data. Insert pivot table, good. Uh, New worksheet, sales data, and so on. Good. So I want to see customer ID. You can see the number of customer IDs I have. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Good. That is the customer ID. This whole thing here in Microsoft Excel is called pivot table. And I want to see the order dates. I have clicked on order dates. Now I don't want it to be together. I want it to be different. So I want to take customer ID to values. No, customer ID to values. So
Please, so someone's mic is making noise. Please let the person mute. Let the person mute.
let me meet that person. That is Luce. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. I want. Uh, okay. This is better. This will be better presented. This is a pivot table, and this is how we go through it. So from this pivot table, you can see we have a numerous number. We want to sort from A to the N. You can see that the first person here, the customer 001100002, actually bought something on the 6th of 2nd, 2011, and so on. So if you want to see the country, you now see Australia, Germany. Let me put the country under. Let's see. Okay, this will not work. It has to all be in the same rule. Country, you can see country. If you want to see, let me see. If you want to see only the country, you click here. If you want to see, let's choose Australia, Canada. Let's unselect all, choose Australia, Canada, and France, and then OK. You now see Australia. These are the names of customers we want to see in Australia, in Canada, in France. Others we are not interested. That is how we can, get to work about this on pivot table. So Excel, it's a forest of analysis. Excel is a forest of analysis. So if any of you is interested in Excel, you can just go ahead. So basic cleaning method, you need to know about it. Sadly, Excel is only limited to 1,000,000 rows of data. And with this limitation, data analysts begin to go into applying languages like SQL or PostgreSQL. SQL meaning structured query language. You can actually pronounce it as SQL Server. And when we talk about programming language is a vocabulary and a set of grammatical rules for instructing a computer or computing device to perform specific tasks. Every techie should master any of these programming languages, either JavaScript. I didn't put Java, JavaScript, Java, SQL, C++, Python. I've showed you guys Python. I've not showed you guys SQL. This is how SQL looks like. I want to connect. This is my, can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, this is SQL Server. This is one of my last stuff I did. It's still loading, and yeah, it's still loading, it's still loading, it's still loading. So these are the values I got. You will not understand all of this because it doesn't make any sense to you. But with this is if I want to run select from product. Um, let me run this particular code. Let me execute it, and then you see, you now see a table will come up now. Line one, incorrect syntax near the word from. Product completion time, which is uh, let me see. I think there's an error. I need to go back to that code. Execute. Sorry guys. So you now see, hey, Jago. Let me see something. Okay. I forgot to. Okay. I didn't connect my database. That's why it's showing error. Please, I'm not going to waste time on this, but these are the codes that we can run. These are the codes. When once I connect my data source, I'll be able to run this code, and it will not show me all these errors. So I have to connect database. I have to import that database engine or open new query and then begin to import some of those data. So this is SQL. You can see it was a class work I did some time ago. I probably must have deleted the source data. So I just wanted to show you guys how this whole thing works. So guys, that is it. And then we have Python. I've showed you Python. What is SQL? You now see all those functions like select statement, from, where, group by, order by, joins. You can go to this website. Let me copy it. Let me do you guys that favor and drop it in the chat box. You can go to this website to get some of the data sets where you can experiment with. Let me drop it in the chat. So just check it out. It's a place where you can get data sets, all the samples. Some of the samples I got it from there. So you can check that out. Are we still together? I'm rounding up. Don't worry, I'm rounding up. So that select statement, from, where, group by, order by, joins. If I open this, you are going to see, you now see select, from, remove, order by. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah. So these are all languages or functions that you guys can use. You can see select, from, on, order by, from, and so on. Those are all SQL functions that you can use. So SQL is a language that helps you interact with a database. It's a database is a collection of data stored in a computer system where there are usually large volumes of data, and accessing them requires some form of structured coding like the one I just showed you. As a data analyst, you must understand how to run SQL queries, and how to do so, you have to understand the basis of relational database and structure, specifically things like primary key, foreign key, and relationships between tables. Okay, so I've already shown you those ones. And then for those who want to go the Python way, I've already explained some of these things: sampling, frequency distribution, mean, median, and mode, statistical. If you are very good with statistics, then you can be good with Python. You can you can do most of these things with that really entered my head. Who is that person? Oh, Nelly. Ah, so let's continue. So you can do most of these things. That is all this sampling, mean, median, and mode. You can do them with Excel though, but you need to know that Excel is a statistical package like SPSS. My advice here is, guys, try to focus on just a skill. Try to focus on just a skill. Then here are a few sites you can learn Microsoft Excel for free. Let me copy it and paste it in the group. So you copy it, copy, paste. You guys can copy, paste it in a group. Okay, and have you seen it? I've dropped it in the group chat. You can learn some of those things there. Then these are the recommended schools you can further your learning in Nigeria or abroad. These are all links that you can get to. I don't know, and you can check some of these schools. Some of them are free, some you have to pay, some you can apply for financial aid, some have free courses. Like this one here was free the last time I checked. You can check Utiva, Datalium, Quantum Analytics, Frontier, Tekavili, and so on for learning. Okay. Then these are recommended YouTube videos that you can watch if you prefer to be self-taught. In fact, when I was in a mix, Alex the Analyst is actually one of my go-to guys on YouTube. I watch him a lot. These are all links that you can get to watch. Microsoft Tutorial Excel for Beginners is a full course. It's actually 4 hours. Coding course is there, 4 hours. Absent data, how to become a data analyst. That is an advice from a senior data analyst. Let me copy that one and paste it in the group so you guys can watch that. Um, Please, we're rounding up. Get ready to ask your questions. Um, then all of this data analyst full course by Simply Learn. This one was is I think 4 hours or 5. So you can imagine sometimes when I spend hours behind my system, listening to some of this stuff, adding to what I already know, and my certificates in data analysis. Then when we talk about lead generation and data entry rules, let me show you guys an example of a company I'm working with presently. What we are doing is actually lead generation, and I'm working with some persons in the group. You can see all of this is lead generation. People go to different websites. I'm actually the chief domain officer of this company. So I have a couple of Nigerians I'm working with. I gave them some numbers. Some of you are actually listening to this call, and we have domains, business domains. So these are names of people working with me, trying to get leads from different businesses, and then we send them cold emails. These are things that you can actually begin to consider yourself. Okay, that's lead generation. There are a couple of websites, Manta, Google, Yahoo, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, different places you can get leads from. You get leads. Leads by lead, it means getting people's emails, phone numbers, address, so that small businesses, big companies can contact those people and sell their products. So when we talk about data entry rules, remember, I'm not teaching you data entry. If there's any of you that is interested in data entry, we can do another training just for data entry so that you can use that one. Is in fact, data entry is the simplest of any of these tech tools and processes. All you need is a knowledge of operating a computer, Microsoft program, communication skills, online searching skills, good typing speed, at least 40 or 60 words per minute. You can use that using typing test.com or something to check how fast you are. Averagely, I type 48 words per minute or 50 if I'm in a good mood. I used to be faster than that. Some of you have reached out to me in the past. I should help you send my typing speed and stuff. And I do that on my own, free of charge. Data entry needs just typing. You have to be good at typing. We copy pasting, we're recording information. For instance, this information was recorded by a data analyst and not by a magician. This thing you see here was recorded by a data entry person and not people who are working with Jumia, with Konga, with some of these e-commerce platforms. This is their job. A data analyst will not sit down to put down this thing. It's someone who is good at data entry, except the data analyst rules contain data entry, which of course will mean double stuff. Some of you will be thinking that I edited this thing on my own. I didn't. All I needed to do was to put a formula on the first page, on the first row here, and everything changed. I wanted to know this exact. You can see other dates, you can see year. I wanted to know the years just in one column, and they should not be mixed with other dates. And all I needed to do was to insert a particular formula, and then it went to the end of this without even me scrolling down. Then I said I want to see only the year and the month. Then I said I want to see only the weekday. Yesterday, when I was showing you people this document, did you people see any of these additions, all this yellow stuff? Did you see them? Even this age category, this customer value one, customer value two, first name was there. But this one, putting the first name and second name together, they were not there yesterday, and then putting them proper. This is proper. You concatenate the formula. All of this is what data entry person does. So you need to know how to organize your columns. You need to know how to organize your rows. You need to know how to research for information, and it's something that you can be taught. Transferring of information is very important as a data entry person. So if there's any of you interested in this, we can get to talk about it. And anytime you are searching for a job in Upwork or in whatever platform as a data entry person, then you can be rest assured that you will definitely get a job for that. Because and now, how do you introduce yourself to international groups that you can join to learn more about data analysis opportunities and to get roots? First thing, search for those companies on LinkedIn. Talk to a recruiter within the company. Ask for tips to make your application worth inviting you for an interview. Ask for referrals if possible for employees. Let me give you an example. I want to open one of my LinkedIn. Is any of you a connect with me on LinkedIn? Any of you?
Yes, Chidimamba is connected.
Okay. Chidima, I hope you are a fine person.
Please do
Yes,
send us your link so that we can connect as well.
Let me just copy and paste. So this is me. Let me paste it in the group. I want to just show you. So it's right there in the group. Let's connect, and I want to open some. Where is it? So I want to search for a particular. Okay, I'm searching for data analyst. And you now see, I want to search for companies. You see? Then I want to search for location. I want to type Nigeria. Are we together? And I say show results. Now
Yes.
these are all the companies that are doing data analysis in Nigeria that are on LinkedIn. They are up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can even see next. So you can visit any of these companies to see if any of them is hiring. Or that is how now so with the hustle. So with the hustle. Company size you want to check all of these ones 1 to 10, they are just startup. 11 to 50, they are standard company. 51 to 200, they are really almost like an international. 500, okay. We're talking, and then 10,000 plus. We're talking about Tesla. We're talking about Microsoft and all this other stuff. Then you now have to, if you want to look at data analysis in groups, internships, and then you say data analyst jobs. You now want to see how many people are posting about that they want a data analyst. People or not company. And then you type your location. You see one Nigeria. You can type the US, but I'm using Nigeria as sample. You say show results. So if you visit any of these people, they are writing stuff about data analyst jobs. If you want to check, let me check InterSwitch group. Let me see if okay. So if you want to work in InterSwitch and you want to connect with any of these people, you can see quality assurance engineer at InterSwitch group. You can now send the person a message. I am open to. This is how to go about it. This is how to go about it. This is how to go about it. These connections are also important. This is how to go about it. My battery is actually running low, and if I stand up from here to on that generator, I'm over with you guys. So, guys, that is how to go about this stuff. Search for companies, talk to a recruiter, ask for tips to make your application worth inviting you for an interview, ask for referrals if possible for employees within that company. Okay, so we are looking for job. Now, other concerns, we have already talked about how to present yourself as a professional to recruiters, even if you are self-taught. And this is one way to go about it. You have to set up your site for free. I use Vimeo or Google Sites and GitHub. Let me show you an example of one of my Google sites. This is it. So most of the projects I have worked on in the past, all I did was I'm going to now do a video record of all of them, all the coding, all the dashboards I have built. I'll now go to, okay, this was my New York taxi project. I'll now go to this site and then upload all of them so that if anybody wants to, this was my internship project. So I put all my internship projects. You can see all of them here. You can see I put all my internship projects in this website, and then I can share the link. So if you want to know whether I've actually built a real-time project, I just give you this link, and this is my portfolio. So I can go here, home, click on home, then you will see this is my home page. You want to see my insights I generated from Tableau. You are going to see insights are generated from Tab. I didn't pay a dime to Google to have this website, but for you to navigate it and make sure that you get to this is my insight from Tableau. So anyone that is doubting that I'm good at Tableau, all I just need is to share this particular page. Okay, there I've already opened my internship. This is my workspace. I can go here. You can see my contact information. You can see insights from Excel. This is my some of the Excel projects I work. I need to upload more actually. And then insights from Power BI. You can now see how amazing. I have three other projects I need to. Then we have Vimeo. Vimeo is another place where you can upload some of your recorded videos and then, um, upload your video. I use this. Ah, I don't if I don't want to waste time to log in and wait for loading and stuff. But you guys get the gist. You can go to vimeo.com, upload some of your recorded videos, send it all of this talk. Sometimes send videos to recruiters. Let them see that you are good. So Google side, GitHub. I don't want to open my GitHub because my time is up actually. And then, ladies and gentlemen, let's have one or two questions, and with that, we'll end the section for today. We can continue conversations. I am willing to share some of the free resources I have here on Google. Let me check my here. On some of the resources I can share with you guys when it comes to um, when it comes to textbooks, Python, so that you guys can. This is not what I'm looking for. Downloads. Text and tools. Okay. So you can see all the textbooks I have here, from a beginner's guide to get your first data science job, data analysis textbook, data analysis, data management, data quality tech, data science, data storytelling, visualization, Excel shortcuts of Excel formulas, cheat sheets, and so on and so how to present to your investors, guide to pricing your SaaS products. There are a lot of them, but I'm not sure I'm going to give it for free, except if I love you and if you're a good person, then we are good to go. So, please, did you enjoy the section for your 1,000 naira? Do you think it was worth it?
Of course, it is. Mother.
Yeah.
Mother.
All right. So I'm going to
Please,
continue this
Mr.
conversation.
Yeah,
David,
it was worth it. It was.
Mr. David,
Okay.
sorry, those materials on the Google site, those are links to the Google site where we can learn data entry. Are you not going to give it to us? Are you not going to give it to us?
Um, how will I drop it now? Because some persons did not pay for this section, and those that paid is she here? What is her name? Oluchi. Is Oluchi here, please?
You can copy and paste it
I'll
on the
stop
chat
there.
now.
I'll No, I can't do that. I'm not going to spend hours doing research and putting this
Oluchi is
together
here
for.
now.
Okay. So, Oluchi, can we send the some of these links to those who paid?
Sure. Sure, we can.
All right, all right. That's the favor I'll do for you guys, so you can go and learn it on your own. So thank you so much, guys. I will stop the recording now so that I can entertain one or two questions.